Friends, this program is brought to you by the generous support of people like you. Founders Church of Religious Science Center for Spiritual Living in Los Angeles is committed to providing you with inspirational messages daily and weekly to enhance your spiritual journey into your best possible life. To become a supporter, please visit our website or click the link on this page to inform you on how to make your gift. We thank you.
Hello, friend. My subject today is do your big thing. Do you have a big thing? You might not think so. You might think that big things are reserved for people who are going to enter into history or the newspaper writes about. That's not the point at all. Every single person has a big thing. Has an idea that if I could do this, my life would be worthwhile. My life would be meaningful. And when we look at people who accomplish that, what we can see here is that they're not exceptions. They're examples of what we can be. However, we must get out of comparison. It's not about your big thing versus somebody else's big thing. It's about what your life is about. That is your big thing. So this morning, what I want to do is to share some principles that we can use to get on track and stay there to accomplish our big thing. Let's talk about life is too short to be little. That you must be a master of consciousness and not a prisoner of condition. There is no big and small for the mind that makes all. And live the inspired version of yourself. Isn't that something? Well, let's talk about it. Let's see what we can say about these things. I want to go to Benjamin Disraeli, who says, life is too short to be little. Life is too short to be little. And if we look at our lives, we can see Disraeli saying, why is it so many of us spend our time frittering our time really with small stuff? We're doing things that are trivial. We get involved in trivial arguments. Sometimes we even fight with people over things that make no sense at all. Why? Because we don't have sufficient emotional intelligence to know that that's not what our life is. Let's withdraw from this and move on to do something that is important to our lives. So, what is your big thing? How are you going to do it? You can't be young all your life. It is George Bernard Shaw who says, youth is such a wonderful thing. It's a pity it's wasted on the young. Well, why don't we get a little older in wisdom even while we are as young as we are? And remember, you are as young as you will ever be for the rest of your life. So whatever age you are, don't say, I wish I knew something earlier. Say, I am glad I know what I know now. And I can start now to make that difference in my life. There are many examples we can use of people who tried to do their big thing and were stymied. Take Steven Spielberg, for example. He wanted to be a student at the University of Southern California, USC. And he was rejected twice. And Spielberg could just say, well, maybe this is not for me. But he went to another college and he got his training. And here's this man coming back giving us Schindler's List, Jaws, E.T., Jurassic Park. And he couldn't get into USC. In time, it was USC in 1994 who awarded him an honorary doctorate degree. And 2 years later, he became a trustee of that university. These are examples that we can see that our big thing does not depend on a condition. It doesn't depend on having to go to a particular school at a particular time. If you can't make it then, try something else. Because that vision that you have of yourself, that big idea, is your idea, and there is a spirit within you that will not fail you. A spirit within you that you can use because its power is magnanimous and you can use it all the time. If you think about Thomas Edison, some people say he failed 1,000 times to invent the light bulb. Others say 10,000 times. I don't know about you, but quite frankly, I don't know if I would continue. But thank God, what he has shown is that you don't quit your big idea. You don't give up on your big idea. You pursue it until it yields its secrets to you. And before you know it, you have moved into a different compartment of opportunities and expression of your life that you are feeling good about yourself because you have been living your big idea. So, successful people do not allow the bumps in their road to stop them from traveling toward their goal. They have shock absorbers. And the shock absorbers is that you're not thin-skinned. You take the insults, you take the failures, and you don't quit because you have a big idea that's important to you, and it's only you who can see it through. You can't transfer it to somebody and say, well, can you do this for me? Can you take my life through to this point? Life is a personal thing. You are living your life. No one else can do it. And your big thing is your big thing. Now, unsuccessful people fail oftentimes because they don't realize that life is too short to keep doing things that are not important to them. The trivial things. We need to understand that if we're going to be a master of consciousness, then we should be able to overcome the conditions of our lives. So we have to be a master of consciousness and not a prisoner of condition. Take Jay-Z. Some of you may not even know who he is, but you should. He's a rapper. And when he started out, nobody would sign him. It seems as if he's the prisoner of his condition because he grew up in a poor, rough Brooklyn neighborhood. Nobody was giving him anything. But Jay-Z had a big idea. And so he made his own label. And he designed his own opportunity. He created his own opportunity. Now, what did that get him? He has become a music powerhouse. Now, Forbes magazine estimated his net worth at $500 million. And Time ranked him as one of the 2013 most influential people in the world. Now, don't you think that would be enough success for anyone with a powerful consciousness? Let me tell you something. This man never stopped there. He is married to Beyonce. I don't know what kind of consciousness you develop to do all of that. So here he is, a man who is showing the way that he could rise from the ashes of nothing to be a most powerful, influential person in the world. I am not saying that that needs to be what we all must do. What I am saying is that he did what he thought was the most important thing to him, and look where it led him. And success is not measured by an amount of money that you make. It's measured by what you have attained within yourself. To feel that you are fully expressed in this life as a person who is alive during this time and place. So you're looking at the master of consciousness, which is an open mindset. An open mindset. It means that a person is a learner, because when you come from the ground up, you don't really have a lot of knowledge about how you're doing something. What you have is this fierce determination, which really is a consciousness in itself, and this magnificent talent that you believe in. And the talent comes with you. You're born with it. It's a God-given gift. And he believed in it, and it multiplied his influence and brought all kinds of riches into his life. Now, when we look at people like this, we have to recognize that they didn't allow their present limitations to prevent them from being expressed. We saw that with Spielberg, and now we're seeing that with Jay-Z. In the science of mind, we are practicing a spirit that tells us that we must find the positive way to go from where we are, even if where we are is a negative place, to where we wish to be. And we must first do that in consciousness. It is a matter of consciousness. If you master your consciousness, you can master your world. Notice I didn't say master the world, master your world, which is really what we're here to do. I would suggest that you can affirm that I am what I am, because the infinite mind that overshadows eternity finds its abiding place in me. I know that good is mine now, all good. This is one from Dr. Holmes, Ernest Holmes, and I think it's a good one for us to affirm within ourselves. We must work on our big thing every day. We must be able to attain that master consciousness so that we do not become prisoners of our condition, and we do that by taking action. Ernest Holmes says, we must swing from prayer to performance, from meditation to action, from contemplation to accomplishment. It's not a matter of going into the closet, as Jesus said we are to go, and staying there. He said, you go into the closet, into the secret place of the Most High, and pray to the Father in secret. And the Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. It means you come back out and work at what it is you're praying for, because God will do for you what God can do through you. Now, there is no big or small to the mind of God, to the infinite power of this universe. Emerson is the one who penned it in a way where he says, there is no great and no small to the soul that maketh all. So your big thing is not big to God. Your big thing is not big to the infinite power of this universe. It is vast. And so whatever it is that you believe in is your big thing, you can do if you set yourself to doing it. One of the things I would say is special people are special because they specialize in your big ideas. If you want to be that special person that you are in potential, then you must begin to act as if it is so, and it will be so. God didn't make us ordinary. It is our acceptance of who we are that made us ordinary. We did not accept how grand we are made, how wonderfully we are made for this world that is creative. We're living in this creative medium and don't really know it. It reminds me of a story I like to tell from time to time with the little fish that comes to the big fish and say, "Pardon me, sir, can you tell me where's the ocean?" And the big fish says, "The ocean? You are in it?" And the little fish said, "Oh no, this is water," and he swam away looking for the ocean. And we are in this vast potential that is within us. And we are crying out, wondering, how can we be more expressed in this life? And all we have to do is to work in consciousness to accept our big idea as a reality that will allow us to put in action, to swing from prayer to action, and do what needs to be done in this world. And we will find that the universe will conspire to work with us. Jay-Z did not allow his condition to define him. He did not settle for failure and poverty. Jay-Z prepared his consciousness to believe in his big idea. Now, did he know when he started out how far he would go? He had no idea. He didn't say, I want to be a multimillionaire, I want to be a billionaire. He didn't say any of these things. What he said, I want to be successful at my art. I want to be a successful rapper. And when they would not allow him to record with other places, he made his own studio. And he did it, and he succeeded royally. We must be both excited and enthusiastic about our big idea. Because if you don't, then the law of belief doesn't get working for you. The law of belief will work for you when you feel it deep down in your soul and you can't even resist being who you are. The way to do is to be, says Lao Tzu. You must be what you want to do. When you are what you really want to do, you cannot but express this thing. So what is your big thing? Your big thing might be made up of many little things that you have to do. There are many little details. Think of it as a great big river flowing to the sea. And it's made up of many tributaries as it comes along. And so you will find that the things you have to do, some of which you may not like, are still part of what doing that big thing is. And the beautiful thing is, even though there are aspects of what you want to do that you may not like, because you keep that big idea in mind, you keep your eyes on the prize, then all of a sudden you will be surprised at how joyous you are about doing everything, including the things you thought you didn't like. So what can we learn from the great Hebrew prophet Isaiah about this? Listen to these words. He said, "So will my word be that goes forth from my mouth. It will not return to me void, without accomplishing what I desire, and without succeeding in the manner for which I sent it." Now, he's putting out his ideas in the world. He's swinging from contemplation to accomplishment. He's knowing that there is a relationship between the inner and the outer aspect of his life. This is what he's doing, and this is what he's telling us that we can do. So, put your big thing together. Recognize that, like Isaiah, you're not working alone. You're not just mouthing off ideas. What you're doing is you're feeding into your soul an acceptance of your belief that will allow your big thing to flow naturally out of you, so it no longer looks like a big thing, but you know it is, and you will find yourself moving into that field of accomplishment where life becomes meaningful to you and you become a wonderful giver of good things to your community, and it will change not only your life, but change the life of the people around you. God bless you all. Do your big thing. Hello, friends. How wonderful it is that we can do this together. And I want to just invite you to support this ministry by sending in your support to us. You can look on the screen and see the many different ways you can do it. But fundamentally, what we're doing is we are creating a ministry where people can live more positively in the world, where we can find that we are one people in this one world, taking care of this ark. I call it now the ark. And when we can all do that together, isn't it worthwhile that we can succeed together and help each other together? That is what we're doing. That is part of our mission. So, those of you who have been helping, thank you. Those of you who are still sitting on the fence, jump on in. Be part of us and help us to help more people by your support. Thank you so much. God bless. Let us turn within right now and go into that intimate source that we call God, to feel the almighty presence not only as something out there, but something within us, and to recognize when we are touched by this power that is greater than we are, that we have something great to contribute to this life, and we do it best when we do our big thing. And we recognize that even though we might have some fear and trepidation about stepping out and taking a risk to do that, that this power that is in the world has done it with many, many people before, and it will also do it to us. All we have to do is to come to that place in consciousness, like some of the people we have shared their stories, and accept a consciousness and not a condition that is limiting. And so right now, I am speaking the word that we are all accepting that consciousness of doing our big thing, and knowing that this is true, we will swing from this prayer to our performance, and to know that we will make a positive difference in the world. I give thanks for this, and I let it be, and so it is. Thank you for sharing this time. Peace.